I would love to kind of start off today's podcast with just talking about how you got into running. I think your most recent running endeavor was it the Disney half marathon or the full marathon?
No, we went full throttle, all 26 miles. So yeah. No, so I mean, going back to where I started running, I know I was never like an actual runner. I grew up playing soccer and basketball. So running was a part of, playing sports, but it wasn't like I was doing cross country or running track or anything like that. But going to college, I did ROTC, so Reserve Officer Training Corps, which is basically your training to become an officer in the military. So with that, running was a part of our everyday routine, basically. Twice a week, we had PT, so physical training, and that was pretty much all running, just training for our tests that would come and just staying in shape for that. So really starting in college, that's where I got into kind of running became part of my everyday life and just something I had to do. And I didn't love it. I'll be honest. I still don't absolutely love it, but it's an activity that is really challenging for me and something I can do everywhere. So when I eventually joined the military, they sent me to Hawaii. And one of the things I loved to do was seeing the island from different perspectives. So running, walking, hiking, things like that. And it just turned into, hey, I signed up for my first marathon in Honolulu. And I said to myself, every single long run that I'm going to do it on a different part of the island so that I can see the island in a different way. And from there, living in Hawaii is great because it's beautiful weather all the time, right? And you never have to worry about excuses for running. It's always like, okay, well, it's a perfect 80 degrees and breezy and sunny. So I guess I have to go run today, right? So then it just turned into me doing that and starting to just run races with friends and things like that, just to really get outside more and do something a little bit different. So it was more of a fun activity and not necessarily about the running and being competitive in any way.
Did you take your dogs with you? Did you have your dogs at that time? I guess I should back up because I remember you had them in Hawaii with you, but I don't know at what time.
So basically, I moved to Hawaii. That was my first duty station in the military. So once I moved there, I lived there for about 6 months maybe. And my neighbors, oddly enough, were like, hey, we have these 2 huskies and we just bred them and we have a whole litter. Would you be interested in, taking one of them? And obviously I'm like, yes, of course, I would love to. And then turns out like when push came to shove, Layla hadn't found a home yet. And they were like, yeah, we're just holding out for Layla, we'll see. And I already had Kai. And I was like, well, twist my arm. I'll take both of them. So Kai and Layla were actually born in Hawaii. So that's where they are just like the weirdest huskies ever. They love warm weather and hate the snow. So
big hairy dogs, like big goofball dogs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they're just the weirdest. Like they get in snow and they'll like barely touch their paws in the snow because they hate it. But yeah, they're goofy. But yeah, so that's where I got my dogs. And that's, having my dogs, that was where hiking came into play. Like I used to run with them all the time. I had like a cool little running belt and would jog with them. Like they would pull me up the hills and everything, which was nice. But yeah, it was super funny.